Hi, I'm Greg Robinson and this is myphotographyshow.com. I'm here to critique this image that was sent from Barbara. Thanks Barbara for sending your image in for a critique. Several things I'm going to say about this. We're going to talk first off about your composition because I think it's very important here. Then I'll have a quick look at your settings and other things you could have done to better the image a bit. Okay, so here we go. First things first, composition. Now there is a very nice thing I like about this image and another thing that bothers me quite a bit. The nice thing is the kind of triangular expression you've got going on in the arms, just here like that, with the two vertical lines represented by these two people. All that kind of comes together. It's like two big blocks, two big rectangles. I'm not sure they'd like that, but two big rectangles being joined by this, these arms holding hands, expressing love. As simple as that. So it's a very interesting image on that front. However, what I don't like about the image is everything that's going on in the background there. It's too distracting. That's the problem. What I would have suggested is maybe follow that couple and try and get yourself in a place. This is what I do when I try and do street photography, and I kind of fall on something that's quite interesting, is I try and find a place where there's a lot of movement, a lot of pedestrians, a lot of people walking or things like that. And I know that if I turn myself to be at this spot, there is a wall or something that'll be a unified color or a basically plain background that will create a plain background for me to shoot against. That's what's the most interesting, especially in these kind of conditions. You were shooting against the sun. I can see that the sun was kind of over here given the shadows that are being cast, which is not the best place to be. On the other hand, if you were shooting from the other side, people would have the sun in their face and so they'd be squinting like that, which doesn't really look very interesting. So compositionally, yeah, when you're in street photography, try and find a place against you can shoot to have a plain background, okay? Second thing we're going to talk about is your settings. So ISO 100, shutter speed of 1/125th of a second, and an aperture of f11. The only place I don't agree with you here is on the f11, especially as you had a pretty good lens. I know that lens is wonderful. You can shoot up to f/2.8, so go for it. Use f/2.8, especially if you're going to isolate a subject and have a blurry background, such as is the case here. That lens, given it's a zoom lens, well, it's a telephoto of 70 to 200, you're obviously going to get the background blur if the subject is close to you. Okay, that's just the aim of the lens. It's made for that. So push it up to f/2.8 to get a lovely bokeh going in the background. And that way you'd have more speed, even though you were at 1/125th. If you brought it down to f/2.8, you'd go down quite a few stops. So it's f8, f5.6, f4, and f2.8. So that's 4 stops you get. Coming back up in the shutter speed, you'd be going at 1/250th, 1/500th, 1/1000th, and 1/2000th of a second. So everything would be tack sharp in your image, okay? You were in great lighting conditions there. I suppose it was full sun. Great going on the black and white. This is the other part I wanted to talk about. Great going on the black and white. I find it kind of gets rid of all the distraction that the background could have brought. I mean, if that ground were yellowish, orangey, and if the background were green, for example, because there was a tree, that would have been kind of scary. That would be too distracting for the viewer. Okay, so well done on going on black and white. I think it was a great choice, especially as he is dressed mainly in white and very light grey, and she is wearing a black dress. So it's a nice contrast between the two, playing around with all that, very interesting. So there we go. I hope you liked the critique. Thanks again for sending it in. All you other viewers, please do not hesitate to send your photos in for a critique. I'd be more than happy to do it on myphotographyshow.com. Follow us on Facebook and on Twitter. Pretty soon we'll have quite a lot of interesting stuff going on there. And there we go. Just send in your images, join in the fun, and get a free critique. Otherwise, you can also ask questions. You've got questions on the go. That means if you're on a certain location and you're having doubts about how you've got to shoot or which settings to use, you just use questions on the go with your mobile and we will try and answer you as fast as possible. There we go. So see you soon on myphotographyshow.com. This was Greg Robinson.